dong, the Wicked Witch is dead. Christmas has came early this year because Big Mouth is finally getting canceled. And that's the good news. There is a tiny bit of bad news, and that is that it's getting renewed for one final season, Season 8. But after this next season, no more Big Mouth, and also no more Human Resources, which was a spin-off of Big Mouth. So it's like a 2-in-1 deal. I feel like the cow jumping over the moon at this news. I'm absolutely ecstatic. And I do have a guilty secret about this show. I've been keeping it closely guarded for quite a while. I did watch season 1 and season 2 because I was like an edgy high schooler during that time, and I thought it was kind of funny or whatever. But you know, I actually spawned into reality, gained a bit of sentience, and realized that it's just absolute shit. But if you go to the Rotten Tomatoes page, it tells a completely different story, because on here, the average tomato meter gives it a 99%, and the audience even gives it a 74%. And if you go down to the season-by-season rating, it's got dang near 100% on every single season. So I don't know what critics are reviewing this show, but they must be absolutely deaf, blind. See, my cat doesn't even want to talk about this show. He wants out of here. He hates it because he's normal. Everyone that's normal should hate this show. And the reason that I feel like it's getting a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes is that Nick Crowley, the creator, has to be giving these critics hand jobs under the table to make them give it a better score. That's the only logical explanation. Like, the show goes for this whole edgy, appealing to the more adult audience, I guess, because the material really is more adultish, but it's about kids going through puberty and a very sexualized version of that. So first it was Cuties, then it was Big Mouth, and it's just so weird. Not even just skipping over the fact that it's insanely weird. It doesn't even do edgy, dark humor in a good way whatsoever. Like, we live in a world that has South Park, Family Guy, American Dad, Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill, all these classic good adult comedy shows, and they're just leaps and bounds better. It feels like this show is taking their garbage, reading their notes that they threw out and didn't use, and making their jokes and their show based around that. You just shouldn't listen to movie critics ever, because they're too busy huffing their own farts to actually give good, sound opinions on movies and TV shows. And an example here would be Big Mouth having a 99%, and then something like South Park only has an 80%. That just obviously, there's no multiverse where that should be the case. Anyways, now that I've ranted enough about Big Mouth, I just wanted to go through this little article here and talk about Big Mouth finally coming to a close, drawing the curtains, putting in the ground one of the worst shows to ever be aired. So like I said, this includes Big Mouth and the spinoff Human Resources. Best of both worlds, really, best case scenario. But this article just talks about how it's going to end in sometime in 2024 with season 8. And this quote in the article says, "Big Mouth is a towering achievement in animated comedy that will make Netflix history for its longevity," added Billy Wee. And that's one thing I wanted to point out too. Why are actually good shows getting canceled after 1 or 2 seasons, but a show like Big Mouth stays on for like 8 seasons? That's just absolutely ludicrous. It's ridiculous. Is it because Nick Kroll has the money to, fund his little operation because his father's like a billionaire? Or is it that it's actually a good show? You tell me. Now, I'm not saying it was Daddy's money that kept this show afloat for 8 agonizing seasons, but I'm sure as hell not saying that it was the good writing, storytelling, and voice acting that was keeping it up. Because that's not it. Otter came back. He actually wanted to help me finish off this video because he was really angry and he needed to get his thoughts out on the microphone. So basically, this is his words. He doesn't like Big Mouth because he watched it and he's seen that a kid impregnated a pillow and then got into a 3-way relationship with a couch cushion and that same pillow. And he just thought that was a bit too stupid, even for an animated, fictional, edgy humor show. See, he's already leaving. I don't know what he's doing. He's already pushing on the door. He's trying to break out and escape from this absurdity of this terrible show. But a quote from Nick Kroll, the man wearing the big boy pants behind this show, said, "Big Mouth is a towering achievement in animated comedy that will make Netflix history for its longevity. We are thrilled that we still have 2 more hilarious seasons to share with fans before this brilliant coming-of-age story reaches its conclusion." The only thing I found relatable about this show is the main character, I forget his name, his big forehead, because I have a large forehead myself, and that was absolutely the only thing I could relate with them whatsoever. It's good for brain blasting and advertising space, but not so much for anything else. Anyways, I just wanted to make this as a celebration post, just, parade around this dead show's corpse being like, yes, woo, it's finally over. The nightmare has ended, and we can all wake up and smell the roses, maybe even see a rainbow go across the sky the day that this thing finally gets laid to rest forever. Unfortunately, the other seasons will probably remain on Netflix, but at least there won't be any new episodes.